In the town of Longyearbyen in Norway, dyeing is banned because bodies can't decompose in the permafrost. If residents are about to die, they are flown to mainland Norway.
What is Longyearbyen? Longyearbyen is the largest settlement and the administrative center of Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago situated in the Arctic Ocean.
Located at a latitude of 78 degrees north, it's one of the world's northernmost permanently inhabited areas. The town was founded by an American, John Munroe Longyear, in 1906 as a coal mining settlement, hence the name.
Why can't you die in Longyearbyen? The unique law about dying in Longyearbyen isn't a matter of superstition or ancient tradition. It's a practical consideration given the region's permafrost conditions. In the 1950s, it was discovered that bodies buried in the local graveyard were not decomposing. The permafrost, permanently frozen ground, preserved the bodies to such an extent that they were almost mummified. Scientists later found traces of the 1918 influenza virus in bodies from that period, which raised concerns that diseases could be preserved and potentially be revived as the bodies thaw. Given the potential health risks and the fact that the ground is hard to dig due to being frozen, the governor of Svalbard decided in the early 2000s to ban burials in Longyearbyen. Consequently, if a resident is seriously ill and nearing the end of their life, they are flown to the mainland of Norway to spend their last days. Similarly, if someone unexpectedly dies in Longyearbyen, their body is transported to the mainland for burial. How locals navigate life in Longyearbyen. Preparedness for emergencies. Due to the unique circumstances, Longyearbyen has provisions for medevac, medical evacuation, in place. The local hospital isn't equipped for complex treatments or surgeries. So, residents who fall seriously ill or pregnant women nearing childbirth are typically flown to Tromsø, a city in northern Norway. Acceptance. The local community understands and respects this regulation as a part of life in such an extreme environment. For many residents, living in Longyearbyen is often temporary, with some staying for work or adventure for a few years before moving back to the mainland or other locations. Cultural adaptations. While the ban on death and burial might sound grim, the town has a vibrant cultural life. With a mix of scientists, miners, and adventurers, local establishments, such as the Svalbard Museum and cultural centers, celebrate life in the Arctic, emphasizing the unique blend of nature, history, and modern living in this remote location. Focus on life. Instead of focusing on the morbid aspect of the rule, the town's residents have built a community that values life and the unique experiences that come with living in the high Arctic. They engage in activities like dog sledding, glacier hiking, and witnessing the northern lights. Longyearbyen in Svalbard is the most commonly cited place with such a unique policy regarding dying and burials due to permafrost and the associated challenges. The specific combination of factors, the presence of permafrost, concerns about disease preservation, and the challenges of digging graves in such conditions, make Longyearbyen's situation quite unique. However, there are places around the world with specific burial restrictions or challenges, though not necessarily a ban on dying. Venice, Italy. In Venice, due to the city's unique structure and location, there's limited space for burials. The dead are taken to the island of San Michele, which serves as the city's cemetery. After a few years, remains are exhumed to make space for new burials, and bones are moved to an ossuary. Space constraints in urban areas. Many cities around the world face challenges due to limited space for burials. In places like Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Singapore, there's a push toward cremation because of land scarcity. Certain religious sites. Some places restrict deaths due to religious significance. For example, in the Indian town of Varanasi, it's inauspicious for people to die within the sacred area of the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Pregnant women, people with leprosy, or those with chickenpox are asked to leave the city to prevent them from dying there. Islands with limited resources. Some small island communities, especially those with limited land and resources, have specific burial practices due to space constraints, though they don't ban dying outright. While the above examples share certain challenges related to death and burial, none are quite as stark or straightforward as the policy in Longyearbyen. However, as urbanization increases and space becomes more limited in various regions, innovative and alternative burial practices are likely to become more common. In essence, Longyearbyen's no dying rule, rather than being a quirky law, is a pragmatic response to the challenges posed by the Arctic environment. It showcases human adaptability and the lengths we go to ensure the safety and well-being of communities, even in the most extreme conditions.
Thank you for watching this video.